Seniors, stop. Never refrigerate these 9 foods. Here's why. Some foods seem harmless in the fridge, but quietly, they lose their power to help your body and may even do more harm than good. For older adults, storing the wrong foods cold can mean missing out on nutrients that protect your heart, steady your blood sugar, and ease digestion. You may not feel the change right away, but over time, these small habits can add up. In this video, you'll learn about 9 common foods many people refrigerate but shouldn't. Making these simple changes can help your meals taste better and support your health every single day. If you care about eating well and aging gracefully, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We're building a little community here where health isn't confusing, it's caring. And if any of these food tips surprise you, leave a comment below. Your story might help someone else today. 1. Tomatoes. Avoid refrigerating tomatoes. Should never be stored in the refrigerator. When chilled, their natural ripening process is disrupted, causing a significant loss in flavor and a mealy, unpleasant texture. For older adults, this isn't just about taste, it's about losing key nutritional value at a stage of life when every bit of nourishment matters. Tomatoes are a rich source of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant known for its role in supporting heart health and reducing the risk of certain cancers. But cold temperatures slow down the production and release of lycopene. That means a cold tomato isn't just dull, it may also deliver fewer protective benefits. Some nutritionists explain that tomatoes continue to ripen after being picked, and this post-harvest ripening process helps boost both flavor and nutritional density. Refrigerating them stops this process in its tracks. What's more, when chilled below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius, the membranes inside the tomato cells begin to break down. This is why refrigerated tomatoes often become mushy and watery. That loss of texture is a sign of damage, and it makes the fruit less enjoyable to eat, leading many people to avoid using them altogether. For older adults working to maintain a healthy diet, nutrient-rich food. Several studies have highlighted that lycopene absorption is already lower in older adults compared to younger individuals. That makes it even more important to consume tomatoes in their freshest, most bioavailable form. Doctors often recommend including tomatoes regularly in the diets of people over 50 because of their ability to reduce oxidative stress and support arterial health. Storing them at room temperature, ideally stem side down in a dry area away from direct sunlight, helps them develop full ripeness and maximum lycopene concentration. There's also a digestive advantage. Riper tomatoes are gentler on aging digestive systems, which often become more sensitive with time. Refrigeration prevents them from reaching that ideal level of ripeness. Moreover, the acidity and taste of a properly ripened tomato can stimulate appetite and enhance the flavor of other healthy meals, which is vital for seniors who may experience a decline in appetite. Tomatoes were never meant for the refrigerator. Their flavor, texture, and nutritional value all suffer when stored cold. For seniors aiming to eat in a way that supports long-term heart and cellular health, keeping tomatoes on the countertop is a small but powerful choice. It preserves not only their natural sweetness, but also their anti-inflammatory strengths, something far more valuable than just good taste. Point 2. Garlic. Avoid refrigerating. Garlic should not be stored in the refrigerator. When exposed to cold, garlic bulbs begin to sprout faster and develop a rubbery texture, which affects both their flavor and potency. More concerning, refrigerated garlic is more likely to grow mold or become contaminated with moisture, reducing its quality and making it potentially harmful if consumed unknowingly. This is particularly important for seniors whose immune systems may not respond as quickly to foodborne irritants, keeping garlic in a cool, dry way to maintain its natural properties. Garlic is widely recognized for its medicinal value. It contains a compound called allicin, which has antimicrobial, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory effects. Some doctors recommend regular consumption of garlic for its role in lowering blood pressure and supporting overall cardiovascular health. These benefits are especially meaningful for people over 50 who face higher risks of hypertension and age-related heart issues. However, allicin begins to degrade when garlic is stored improperly, especially in moist or cold environments like a refrigerator. Once degraded, its health benefits decline sharply, offering far less protection than fresh, Pantry-stored garlic. Studies have shown that garlic stored at cold temperatures tends to lose its firmness and develop green sprouts. These sprouts can taste bitter and may signal that the garlic is past its nutritional peak. While not dangerous on their own, sprouted garlic is often discarded, which leads to waste and the loss of a powerful dietary tool for those trying to maintain consistent health through food. Proper storage not only keeps garlic usable for longer, but also ensures each clove retains its full concentration of beneficial compounds. For seniors with sensitive digestion, fresher garlic is also easier to tolerate. Cold-stored garlic can develop sharp off flavors that are harsher on the stomach. Fresh, dry-stored garlic offers a milder, more balanced profile that blends better in cooking and is gentler on the digestive tract. This is particularly helpful for older adults managing conditions like acid reflux or low stomach acid. Avoiding the refrigerator might seem like a small change, but it makes a noticeable difference. When garlic is stored correctly, it remains firm, flavorful, and full of heart-supporting and immune-boosting compounds. For seniors focused on aging with strength and vitality, preserving garlic's natural integrity is a simple yet meaningful step. 3. Onions avoid refrigerating. Onions should not be refrigerated unless they are already peeled or chopped. When stored whole in the refrigerator, onions absorb excess moisture and begin to soften prematurely. This often results in a mushy texture, faster spoilage, and sometimes even mold growth that not only ruins their taste and smell, but also reduces their shelf life significantly. For seniors who are often cooking in smaller quantities or meal planning for the week, this kind of spoilage leads to unnecessary waste and the loss of a food that holds valuable nutritional benefits. Whole onions are best kept in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated place away from direct sunlight. In these conditions, they can last for weeks without compromising their flavor or health value. When placed in the fridge, however, the cold and moisture can cause their cellular structure to break down faster, encouraging mold and bacterial growth. Some studies suggest that the enzymes in onions begin to change when exposed to cold, reducing both their crispness and the compounds responsible for their health-promoting effects. Onions contain sulfur compounds and flavonoids, such as quercetin, that have strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. These compounds are particularly important for seniors, as they may help reduce chronic inflammation linked to arthritis, heart disease, and certain types of cancer. Onions have also been shown to help regulate blood sugar levels, which is a key concern for older adults, especially those managing diabetes or insulin resistance. Refrigeration accelerates deterioration and diminishes the concentration of these beneficial compounds, making the onion far less helpful to the body. There's also a risk that refrigerated onions will release excess moisture and strong odors, which can affect other nearby produce. This can lead to a chain reaction of food spoilage inside the fridge, especially among sensitive fruits and vegetables. For seniors trying to eat a balanced diet and stretch their grocery budget, that kind of spoilage can be both frustrating and costly. The only time refrigeration is appropriate is when onions have already been cut. In that case, they should be sealed tightly in an airtight container and used within a few days. But for whole, unpeeled onions, the pantry remains the healthiest place. Avoiding the refrigerator helps retain their structure, taste, and most importantly, the nutrients that support the health of older adults. It's a small habit shift that can lead to fresher meals and better wellness outcomes. 4. Bananas avoid refrigerating. Bananas should not be stored in the refrigerator. When exposed to cold temperatures, their skin quickly darkens and becomes blotchy, which many mistake as spoilage. However, the greater concern lies underneath the peel. The cold stops the ripening process entirely, preventing bananas from developing their full flavor and nutrient profile. For seniors, this means missing out on key vitamins and minerals that are most available when the fruit is fully ripe, especially magnesium and vitamin B6, which are both essential for maintaining nerve function, muscle strength, and mood stability. Vitamin B6 plays a vital role in brain health and helps regulate homocysteine levels, which have been linked to cognitive decline and heart disease. Magnesium, on the other hand, supports muscle relaxation, steady heart rhythm, and bone strength, all areas that become more vulnerable with age. Doctors often advise older adults to get these nutrients through food sources whenever possible. Ripe bananas, when allowed to mature naturally at room temperature. offer a gentle and effective way to deliver these nutrients without the need for supplements. Refrigerating them too soon disrupts this process and lowers the bioavailability of these health-boosting elements. Some studies have also shown that cold-stored bananas tend to develop an altered texture that becomes grainy and less palatable. This not only affects enjoyment, but may also cause some people to avoid them altogether. That's a missed opportunity to add a naturally sweet, easy to digest, and high-fiber fruit to the daily diet. Bananas are often well tolerated by older adults, making them an ideal snack or breakfast addition for supporting regularity and blood sugar stability. The best place to keep bananas is right on the kitchen counter, ideally hung or placed in a fruit bowl away from direct sunlight. As they ripen and begin to show brown speckles, their starches convert into natural sugars and their nutrient content peaks. This stage is ideal for seniors because the banana is easier to digest and the flavors are more pronounced, encouraging consistent consumption. Avoiding the refrigerator helps preserve both the nutritional integrity and the gentle nature of the banana for seniors aiming to protect their nerves, muscles, and overall vitality. Letting this fruit ripen fully at room temperature is a simple yet impactful habit. It preserves the value of one of the most accessible and beneficial fruits available. Bread, avoid refrigerating. Bread should not be stored in the refrigerator. Although it may seem like a way to keep it fresh longer, refrigeration actually causes bread to go stale faster. This happens because of a process called starch retrogradation. When bread is cooled in the fridge, the starch molecules begin to crystallize, squeezing out moisture and hardening the texture. What results is dry, crumbly bread that feels and tastes old, even if it's only been there for a day or two. For seniors trying to eat more fiber and whole grains to support digestion and regularity, this often means that perfectly good food ends up being thrown away. Whole grain and high-fiber breads are particularly helpful for older adults. They support gut health, regulate blood sugar, and help prevent constipation, all common concerns with aging. However, when the texture of bread becomes unpleasant due to cold storage, it becomes less likely to be used regularly in meals. Some seniors may skip it altogether, missing out on the steady energy and digestive support it offers. That's not just a loss in flavor, it's a nutritional setback. Doctors and dietitians frequently recommend keeping bread at room temperature in tightly sealed packaging, away from direct light or heat. Stored this way, bread retains its softness and flavor for several days, making it easier to incorporate into meals. For those who don't eat bread daily or want to buy in larger quantities, freezing is a better option than freezing doesn't cause the same rapid staleness. In fact, frozen bread holds its quality well and can be thawed in individual slices as needed. Maintaining both texture and nutritional value, sliced bread, when frozen properly in small portions, can be quickly reheated in a toaster or warmed in a pan. This approach allows seniors to always have fresh-tasting bread on hand without the risk of mold or waste. It's a useful strategy for managing both health and household budget, especially for those living alone or cooking smaller meals. Avoiding the refrigerator helps preserve not only the softness of the bread, but also the ease with which it supports a healthy diet for older adults aiming to include more fiber and whole grains without hassle or waste. Storing bread properly on the counter or in the freezer is a small adjustment with a big payoff. It keeps meals satisfying, simple, and consistent with wellness goals. 6. Potatoes avoid refrigerating. Potatoes should not be stored in the refrigerator. When kept in cold conditions, their natural starches begin to convert into sugars more rapidly. This change doesn't just alter their taste, it has health implications, especially for older adults. The sweetened potatoes may brown too quickly. When cooked, and more importantly, they can form higher levels of acrylamide. Acrylamide is a chemical compound that forms in starchy foods during high temperature cooking methods like frying, roasting, or baking. Some health authorities have raised concerns about acrylamide exposure over time, particularly for seniors whose bodies may not process toxins as efficiently as in younger years. Taste is also compromised when potatoes are chilled. The shift in sugar levels leads to an unbalanced, overly sweet or oddly bitter flavor once cooked, which can make them less appealing in everyday meals. This is especially true for traditional recipes that rely on the subtle, earthy flavor of Potatoes. Seniors who are already managing reduced appetite or taste sensitivity may find these off flavors discouraging, which can interfere with regular mealtime enjoyment. According to storage recommendations from food safety experts, the best place to keep potatoes is in a dark, cool, and dry environments, such as a cupboard, pantry, or root cellar. Temperatures between 45 degrees Fahrenheit and 50 degrees Fahrenheit are ideal. These conditions help maintain the potato's original starch structure and slow down sprouting or softening. For seniors planning meals in advance or cooking in small batches, this approach helps extend shelf life without compromising nutritional value. Cold-stored potatoes also sprout more easily. Once brought back to room temperature, especially if condensation forms on the skin, sprouted potatoes not only look unappetizing but may also contain increased levels of solanine, a naturally occurring toxin that can cause digestive discomfort when consumed in large amounts. Older adults with sensitive stomachs or existing gastrointestinal issues should be particularly cautious about avoiding sprouted or improperly stored potatoes. By keeping potatoes out of the fridge and in the right environment, seniors can preserve their natural texture, stable starches, and cooking versatility. This small change ensures meals are both safer and more enjoyable. It also reduces food waste and helps maintain a steady supply of a familiar, affordable, and satisfying food staple. For older adults focused on healthy, balanced eating, proper potato storage is an easy yet essential part of the kitchen routine. 7. Olive oil. Avoid refrigerating. Olive oil should not be kept in the refrigerator. When exposed to cold, it begins to solidify, forming a cloudy or thick texture that may look like it's gone bad. While this change is reversible, it's a sign that the oil is being stored in the wrong environment. More importantly, condensation can form inside the bottle during temperature changes, introducing moisture that can degrade the oil's quality over time. This breakdown affects both the flavor and the nutritional strength of olive oil, making it less effective as a source of health support. Olive oil is widely recommended for older adults because of its proven benefits for heart and joint health. Rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, like polyphenols, it helps reduce inflammation, lower LDL cholesterol, and support brain function. Some doctors recommend it as a daily part of the Mediterranean-style diet, which is often praised for promoting longevity and protecting against age-related disease. However, these benefits rely heavily on proper storage. Light, heat, and temperature swings are known to damage olive oil, stripping it of the very compounds that make it protective. Refrigerating olive oil also dulls its flavor and aroma, especially if it's extra virgin. This can make meals less enjoyable and discourage consistent use in cooking or dressing. Seniors who rely on olive oil as a primary fat source may unknowingly reduce its value by storing it improperly. The oil may still look usable, but its antioxidant content and freshness can decline significantly without obvious signs. Experts recommend keeping olive oil in a dark glass bottle or stainless steel container, tightly sealed and stored in a cool, dry place, such as a cabinet away from the stove or any direct light. Under these conditions, high-quality olive oil can retain its full nutritional power for several months. For seniors managing inflammation, cholesterol, or arthritis, preserving the purity of olive oil makes a meaningful difference. Avoiding refrigeration ensures olive oil stays smooth, rich, and effective by simply storing it in the right place. Older adults can protect one of the healthiest ingredients in their kitchen and continue enjoying its full benefits with every meal. 8. Honey. Avoid refrigerating. Honey should never be refrigerated. When exposed to cold temperatures, it begins to crystallize, turning from smooth and golden to thick, grainy, and hard to scoop. This change doesn't mean the honey has gone bad, but it does make it more difficult to use. For seniors with limited hand strength or arthritis, hardened honey can become frustrating to handle, leading many to discard it unnecessarily. Worse, reheating crystallized honey to return it to its liquid state may destroy some of its beneficial enzymes if not done gently, properly stored. Honey is one of the few foods that never spoils. Its natural composition makes it highly resistant to bacteria and mold, giving it an indefinite shelf life. For older adults looking for a sweetener that's easier on the body than refined sugar, honey is often a preferred option. When used In moderation, it can help satisfy cravings without the blood sugar spikes that often come with processed sweeteners. Some studies have also highlighted honey's antimicrobial and immune-supporting properties, making it a smart pantry staple for seniors focused on wellness. Doctors sometimes recommend raw or minimally processed honey as a gentler alternative. For those managing mild blood sugar issues or seeking natural ways to soothe inflammation and sore throats. But to preserve those qualities, honey needs to be kept in a tightly sealed container at room temperature, ideally in a dark cabinet, away from direct heat and light. Refrigeration disrupts its consistency and makes it harder to incorporate into tea, oatmeal, or other senior-friendly meals. The crystallization that occurs in the fridge is simply a reaction between the natural sugars and moisture in honey. While harmless, it creates an unnecessary barrier to enjoying a food that should remain simple and accessible. Avoiding refrigeration keeps honey smooth, spoonable, and effective as a nourishing sweetener. For older adults aiming to cut back on processed sugar while still enjoying a bit of natural sweetness, honey is one of the best options available. By keeping it out of the fridge and storing it the way nature intended, seniors can enjoy its rich taste and gentle health benefits without hassle. 9. Canned or unopened condiments avoid refrigerating until opened. Canned or unopened condiments, such as ketchup, mustard, soy sauce, barbecue sauce, and salad dressings, should not be refrigerated until they are opened. Many people instinctively put these items in the fridge as soon as they bring them home from the store, thinking it's the safest option. But refrigeration at this stage can actually reduce shelf life, cause separation in texture, and dull the intended flavor. For seniors who rely on condiments to add variety and enjoyment to meals, improper storage can lead to unnecessary waste and disappointment at the table. These products are specifically designed to remain stable at room temperature while sealed. Manufacturers use airtight packaging and ingredients such as vinegar, salt, or preservatives to ensure safety and freshness until the seal is broken. Cold storage before opening isn't necessary and can actually trigger premature breakdown. For example, mustard may lose its sharpness, ketchup may separate and become watery, and soy sauce may develop cloudy particles or altered saltiness when stored in a cold environment too soon. Older adults are often more mindful of grocery budgets and food expiration. Wasting a bottle of sauce due to poor flavor or early spoilage can be frustrating, especially when every dollar and every meal counts. Keeping these sealed condiments in a pantry, cupboard, or drawer at room temperature allows them to remain in good condition for months, even years, in some cases without compromising taste or safety. Once opened, they should then be refrigerated to slow down oxidation and microbial growth. But before that seal is popped, cold storage does more harm than good. Doctors and nutritionists frequently encourage older adults to enhance food flavor. Without relying too heavily on salt, condiments like mustard or vinegar-based dressings can add zest to meals without overloading sodium, making them important tools for maintaining both heart health and appetite. But this only works if the product tastes as intended. Chilled, unopened condiments may lose the punch needed to brighten up a dish, leading some seniors to stop using them altogether. Some seniors also face mobility challenges or limited fridge space. Unnecessarily storing unopened condiments in the refrigerator takes up valuable room that could be used for perishable items like produce or dairy. Keeping sealed sauces and dressings in the pantry until they are actually needed is not only safer and more sensible, it's more efficient for kitchen organization and daily use. For those over 50 aiming to make the most of every meal and every dollar, proper storage of unopened condiments is a simple but meaningful step. It ensures flavor stays intact, waste is reduced, and the small joys of well-seasoned food remain part of everyday life. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you and you want to learn more about staying healthy as you age, you can support us in a small way. Just look below the video, you'll see a little button that says subscribe. Click it once, and it helps you get our next helpful videos. You can also click the thumbs up button to like the video, and if you have any questions, just scroll down and type a comment. We read them and love to hear from you.